Starting in the shadow of the mighty southern Drakensberg, the KAP sani2c is a 3-day mountain bike stage race through rural KwaZulu-Natal. The 250-kilometre journey begins at Glencairn Farm near Underberg. Stage 1 takes them to the Mackenzie Club near Kopo. The second night is spent at Jollyvet Farm in High Flats. And the final day takes the riders on to the stunning Indian Ocean beaches of the south coast as they finish at beautiful Scottburgh. The rugged terrain is tailor-made for adventure, and the route encompasses all the elements that make for a truly unforgettable mountain bike race. Whether you're a racing snake, an adrenaline junkie, or a weekend warrior, you will find your place right here. As a full-service event, there is very little the riders need to worry about. Top-class breakfasts, lunches and dinners provide the fuel for riding. The vibey dining areas are a melting pot of like-minded souls, sharing stories of the day's riding over a sumptuous meal and a few drinks before a solid night's sleep in a spacious tent. On the ride, the community-run water points leave nothing to chance. Whatever your taste, it's taken care of. After the ride, dirty bikes are given all the tender, loving care they need to carry you through the next day's ride. Just like the sport, the KAP sani2c has evolved tremendously from its humble beginnings 20 years ago, when narrow bars, 26-inch wheels and V-brakes were stock standard. While what we ride may have changed, the ethos behind the event has not, thanks to the man who started it all, Farmer Glenn, whose vision for a fantastic 3-day ride has not deviated over the years.
Trying to really just keep it basic and not get too clever, but just awesome riding. Focus on the riding and give the guys a good time. So good day. Well done, guys. Yeah, so yeah, that's our focus. Always, we must never lose sight of that. But guys come here to ride, and that's what it's about. And if we can help build the experience and the atmosphere, that's also important. But it's really, at the end of the day, it's all about the riding. And if they're enjoying the riding, everyone's winning. So yeah, that's our philosophy.
Probably the best memory ever was after the first one, when I knew, okay, this thing's real and it's going to happen, and it's you know, we just needed to keep it sustainable. So that's probably the best memory. I was on the beach on the first day, knowing that this thing is, you know, I always believed in it, but I wasn't quite sure until we actually ran the first event. But that's probably the best memory. And then obviously there's just like being in the helicopter and watching the guys having fun, and just seeing the whole sort of route come together is special.
The route is king, of that there is no doubt. And it all starts on Glencairn Farm at the foot of Sani Pass. Part of the evolution of the KAP sani2c, Glencairn is a spectacular, peaceful space where life's day-to-day noisy soundtrack is packed away. You take with you just what you need in a box, which you'll see at the end of the stage. The farm is lush and spacious, the views are next level, setting the scene for the 3 days to come. Underberg Primary School, with support from the Greater Underberg community, provide the morning feast. There are numerous batches setting off at 10-minute intervals, so there's no rush. Take in the vibe, it's super special.
Done 5 sani2c's and it's purely the single track. Every single year just gets better and better. The organisation, the food, everything about sani2c is just great. So I'm here to ride, enjoy the single track to the max and test myself with a bit of endurance and eating good food.
The trails are apparently the best trails in the country, so it's something we're looking forward to, especially coming from Joburg where we don't have many options for some really good flowing trails. So it's going to be a good 3 days.
Stage 1 is 82 kilometers with 1,100 meters of climbing, but those stats don't even begin to tell the story of the day. Excitement is at fever pitch as the batches charge away from Glencairn. The 16k district road is a chance to warm up and check out who's in the bunch. The first single track is on Charles Taylor's land, a long sweeping trail with massive switchbacks. The PG Bison floating bridge on Mossbank Dam is a seriously fun ride with a few tricky twists. Get it wrong and it's a wet kit for the rest of the ride. Then it's on to Mbiba, Houstees, Jared's Route and Charlie's section. All fast and flowing single tracks, and before you can blink or brake, you're at the Pevensey Place water table, 43 k's under the belt.
Best donut ever.
The world's finest donuts get you up and over Big Ring Climb, and it's on to more single track. OG's Trail is an example of how the route has improved over the years. The lush and peaceful ride through Ngumeni Indigenous Forest is a delight. The railway bridge at Donnybrook takes you over the R612 and into Waterpoint 2 at Belmont Conference Centre. The refuel is needed. Bowman's Climb needs attention. It's soon forgotten though, as more exhilarating single track and farm trail take you through lush dairy farms and on to the finish at Mackenzie Club. What a ride! But it is, as the Sani motto says, more than a ride. The Linford School community have been hard at work for months. Hundreds of loaves of banana bread have been baked, thousands of tomatoes, rolls and veggies sliced and prepared. Chicken stir-fry, fit for riding royalty. The bike wash teams on the old tennis courts have got a slick routine designed to return bikes to showroom condition as the sun sets on day 1. For 20 years, the vibe and passion for the KAP sani2c has been set by Farmer Glenn. A farmer for life and a mountain biker for decades before starting Sani, Glenn has, like the race and the bikes, evolved into a cameraman of note with an eye for the money shot.
So Glenn, what is your expectation for the shot?
This shot?
Yes.
Yeah. I think it's going to be pretty sharp, eh? Got the mist in the background, a little bit of dust, a few rocks on the corner here. Yeah, I think it'll be alright, eh? Not the money shot, but a good shot. We'll get a money shot later.
The money shot. Got the money shot. Got the money shot, yeah.
Look, I'm a farmer at heart, and that's my first love is farming, and I want to continue farming. You know, I don't want to become an event organizer and be running around sorting out issues with PowerPoints and presentations. And so, yeah, I'm here to organize a really great experience and a lifetime experience for the riders. And we do that out there on the trail. You know, the things that happen behind the scenes and stuff, that's not really us. We want to give the guys a really good ride and a great experience, a life-changing experience. And yeah, in many cases I think we've done that. And yeah, that's also really fulfilling to see people that have never ridden a mountain bike now riding their bikes now for the 3rd or 4th year in a row. And the impact that's got on their families and their kids is really special. Okay,
The KAP sani2c has never deviated from its original community event ethos. Even the sponsors, from long-time supporters Subaru Pietermaritzburg to current sponsors KAP, continue to back Glenn in his community initiatives.
So that's also been really great, is just dealing with a sponsor like KAP that have seen our vision and have bought into it and fully support us. You know, they give us free rein to do a lot. You know, we can basically, obviously we're always trying to do the right thing, and they buy into it and just support us wherever they can now. So that's another great highlight, is actually being involved with KAP, our title sponsor, just because they're on the same page as us as far as what we're trying to achieve in our ethos and everything. Yeah.
Stage 2 is a truly special one. It's a day that mountain bikers from far and wide talk about in glowing terms for years to come. A hearty breakfast is essential. After all, it is tough. It's Sani Day 2.
Yeah, today is hold back, hold back, hold back. Save yourself as much as you can, because whatever you do, you know, you're going to have a little bit more to give a bit later on. There's beautiful scenery, nice climbing, nice descents, but there's some serious climbs that are going to just take everything out of you. So rest, take your time, drink, hydrate, eat a chocolate or energy bar, and you'll do lots of praying.
An earlier start with smaller batches allows all the riders to enjoy the trails to their maximum. 97 kilometers and 1400 meters of climbing is a significant day's riding in anyone's books. The first single track, Ants, offers two options. Both end at the same place. Which is faster? That's up to you. Thereafter, it's funny music, Butterfly Valley, and then Wow, which exposes the jewel of the sani2c, the mighty Umkomaas Valley. Cheering, sappy foresters welcome you to Soda Falls. These tracks will offer some of the most spectacular views imaginable. That's if you can take your eyes off the trail. It's simply breathtaking. Yankees Doodle and Murray's Meander are legendary, as is the view of the Umkomaas glistening way below in the valley. You charge past the Umko Lodge before plunging into Nick's Pass. Fast with furious braking. The racing snakes hold nothing back. The Sosiba section, School and Mchunu's Pride have you screaming with sheer delight. This is the heart of sani2c country. Heaven and Hell and Tamika's Detour spits you out onto the banks of the Umkomaas River, breathless no doubt. Umko rises high on the eastern slopes of the Drakensberg and flows all the way down to the Indian Ocean at Umkomaas. A tough paddle in a kayak gets a breeze on a bike across another purpose-built floating bridge, courtesy of Atlas Copco. If you're lucky, you might catch a glimpse of some wildlife on the other side along Giraffe Alley and through Stu Mapstone's productive farm. Back across the river and over the Tile Africa Bridge, and after a thrilling 40 k's, it's the Maritzburg College water point, where a hearty refuel is well advised. From there, a meandering route takes you along Woody's Burn, river left, citrus orchards to the right. Yes, you ride the game paths of these beauties, which inhabit this stunning remote area as you head for the Ikopo River Valley. A helping hand on some of the short, sharp climbs is very welcome. This is about as remote as it gets. Deserted farms. Steve Sprate has crossed 14 times via hand-built bridges. A true labour of love. Talking of labour, the hard stuff comes in the form of the iconic climb. As steep as a fuel price, it's a prize to be conquered. Good legs and a strong mind will have you slapping the sign at the top. Well done. Out of Africa is a sublime reward as it shoots you down a windy trail. A short district road blast and it's on to Water Point 2 as you enter the high flat sappy timber plantations where more Wonder Trail awaits. Fisherman's Trail hugs the banks of a dam as you close in on High Flats Church and Waterpoint 3. Adrenaline is pumping and the last 15 Ks flash by. The youngsters from King's Harvest Academy welcome you home after a ride for the ages. The route is king philosophy has always been strong at Sani. Over the years, hectic weather though has played a role in some slippery descents and led to innovative changes along the way. This is also a busy farming region from dairy to timber, and at times harvesting needs to change. The cooperation with the landowners has been vital to the sustainability at the KAP sani2c. Sani was one of the first events to introduce the novelty of a floating bridge, the Mossbank Dam being the first proving ground.
Well, it was a long way around the dam, and we sort of came down. It's on day one, so the first floating bridge was built on day one at Mossbank Dam at Sapping, and it was a good 5 minutes around the dam, and we thought we're really cutting it fine. You know, we are close on 90 Ks for day one, and we always wanted to sort of be under 90 because just 90 is close to 100, and people have this mental block as soon as you go 100 Ks on a mountain bike at KZN. That's really hard, and it's for elite athletes and that. So we were always looking for ways of trying to make the route a little bit easier and shorter, just because we're passionate about riding. And we thought, you know what, I'm sure we can make a bridge over this dam, and that's where it started. And we needed planks for the bridge, and I approached a guy that's kids were in the same class as our kids at school, and I knew he had a sawmill, and we needed planks, and we didn't have money to really splash around because the event was still getting going, and they sponsored some planks, and that was PG Bison. But through that sort of relationship with PG Bison is owned by KAP. You know, KAP approached us. They heard that we were looking for a title sponsor via PG Bison, and you know, it didn't take much convincing for them to become title sponsor, and what a great sponsor, because you know, they understand our whole vision of, you know, their mantra is being the change now. You know, that relationship, I don't think there are many sporting events that have a relationship like that with their title sponsor. So yeah, from needing a few planks at a floating bridge, you know, to a massive event and being a sponsor of sort of an internationally renowned event is quite remarkable, actually.
In 2 decades, thousands of people have got to experience the joys of riding the KAP sani2c, with hundreds coming back every year to take on the challenge again. As with every race of this nature, it has its fair share of highs and lows, crashes, big and small, and hectic weather. It's all part of the sport.
Yeah, I think those are the years you remember, you know, and those are the years when the going gets tough, the tough get going, and they're special years, they're challenging years, but they are years that you do remember and you'll reflect back on. I mean, if anyone talks about a normal year, they pretty much, it's all a bit of a blur, but if you talk about those years when it was hard and tough and muddy, you remember them. But yeah, it's just those special memories, I suppose. There are a lot of them that spring to mind each year. You know, obviously guys come to ride, and the route's got to be, I mean, that's a given. You've got to have great riding, and this type of trails we set is, you know, they're challenging for anyone at their own speed, so everyone can ride everything. There's not something that a new novice cannot ride. So yeah, we've always set those trails, we've always groomed them really specially, and we'll continue to do that. But I think maybe it's more the atmosphere in the race village. I think probably we're lucky that there aren't a lot of accommodation options outside of our race villages, so everyone has to really stay in the race village, and that's important, you know, for us, because that's where the guys get together, and you know, all the war stories are shared, and friendships are made, and you know, and new friendships are made, and old friendships are rekindled, you know. So I think the atmosphere probably sets it aside too, but end of the day, it's really the route, and yeah, I think there's some really special sections of our route.
For me, it's what makes it very nice and such a great event is the fact that it's probably anyone can ride it. So even though it's fun, single tracks, nowhere it's really dangerous. So it's a well-maintained track, so it's a great place to ride.
Day 2's race village at Jolivet received a facelift some years ago and is a pure delight to reach. Piping hot showers, a huge dining hall, a chill zone, and peaceful tents under the macadamia nut trees. The last day dawns and it's time for some reflection.
I'll see you down there.
Another early start from Jolivet. 86 k's away, the beach is waiting at Scottburgh.
It's an unbelievable event. The way that they involve the communities and the way that Farmer Glenn and his team just come back year after year and deliver a world-class event is awesome. All of it, the route, the vibe, everything. And then also you need to make sure that you have the right partner riding with you. Very, very important.
It's a super fast start with long descents through the sugarcane fields as they cut through the Whiteley's farm and make for the forests like lycra-clad scalded cats. Those who have trained well are peaking now. Those who didn't, well, they're just enjoying the ride. Through the forest, Clint's climb tests the legs of the racing snakes and the weekend warriors alike. More lush cane fields and a few kickers take them to the Dumisa Farmers Association water point. There is little doubt that this is the easiest of the 3 days. However, many a rider has overcooked it in the first half and unravelled later on. The most technical climb of the race comes in Vernon Cook's Nature Reserve. It's a short but steep track on rutted and rocky terrain, and Farmer Glenn just loves to see who can ride it out. A smooth, sweeping road takes them to the stunning Tagagi Coastal Bush Trail, before dropping down to the banks of the river and the final water point, hosted by the wonderful people from Scottburgh Lions.
Glasses! Glasses! Don't forget them when we wash them.
The Kelso River is good company to the right as they blast along Ricky's Rail and closer to the finish. And before too long, lovely Scottburgh Beach is in sight. Off the Huntsgrove floating bridge and up the Chip Alley. A chip and a putt and it's all smiles up the fairway and into the finish at Scottburgh Golf Club. Medals, beers and celebrations at the end of 3 exceptional days of mountain biking.
Nice ride, lots of downhill, fast single track, excellent riding. I'd say day 3 is the best. It's just fast and flowing and just all out to the end. It's wonderful finish. Can't ask for better.
Haven't ridden it since 2019 and it's even better than I remember it. And it's amazing effort to put all this together. Big congrats and thanks to everyone involved with this. Cheers, man.
Nothing compared. It's like a totally different world for me. Yeah, it's like I've been racing in South Africa for many years, but not often enough to get used to it. But yes, this is why I keep on coming back because I love it so much.
The KAP sani2c can take its place proudly alongside South Africa's iconic endurance events. It's the benchmark against which all similar events measure themselves. It's no accident that the KAP sani2c is the most popular 3-day mountain bike stage race in the country. For 20 years, riders have voted with their wheels in their thousands. Thank you. Through their passion for mountain biking and commitment to innovate and improve the rider's experience, Farmer Glenn Hoare and his family have made our lives immeasurably richer. Thank you for what you've done for the sport. We salute you, Glenn, and the KAP sani2c on 2 decades of mountain biking excellence. Long may you continue to bring us such riding pleasure. And if you're one of the hundreds of black mambas or a newbie to the sport, come and join us in 2024 for the 20th KAP sani2c. You'll never regret it. And the KAP sani2c growth and innovation continues. In recognizing the huge interest in the latest offshoot of the sport, for 2024 they've added a standalone event exclusively for e-bikes.
Nina, ninsizwa, nishova amabhayisikili kusheshe kanje. You guys are legends, eh? Well done.